So one of the biggest struggles with being ADHD is that we try to find times to relax, and we'll say be at work, nobody around, go into our default mode and just doing everything automatic. A lot of people know what I'm talking about. We don't put thought into it. Like some people, like especially maintenance guys and carpenters and stuff like that, they'll get pissed if you don't go through every scenario, every angle from which you can attack a situation at. Let's say you got uh, I don't know, you're in a warehouse, and you got to build something, and you got to figure out a way to build it, and they're gonna look at everything you say. So what the hell are you doing? Why did you not do it this way? Okay, maybe because nobody ever showed me that. Maybe you didn't even think of it yourself originally, but they play it off like they always known it. Like they were born with this common sense that far exceeds, any sort of moderate intelligence. And it's irritating. They criticize people with ADHD because, like, people with ADHD, we're scanning. We'll step back, let the other person, do what they got to do because they want to be there in the first place, and we'll stand back and watch them trying to find that place to kind of sneak in and do something, so we don't feel so useless. And our body's constantly like a runner, like on the line, ready to go. That's just how we are. So we're scanning, scanning, scanning. Oh, I see something I can do. Our body just kind of jumps right into it without us much thinking of it, because uh, it's irritating thinking that we're supposed to jump in. So then when we do jump in, and we've already got it in our head of what we're gonna try to do, and it doesn't always work out that way. So then, they get criticized, and that makes them feel like a burden, right? Because you went from feeling useless to screwing something up. And now, where a lot of people don't care about that, the brain remembers so many other times it's happened. Now, oh yeah, it's all good and dandy for the kid that learned how to, shut everybody out early on. But people that can't understand psychology will never understand. It's like stopping the worst addiction, and not thinking of it at that moment. You got a crack pipe in front of you, you're not thinking, you just pick it up and smoke it. And then once you get that first hit, you're thinking, oh, when I pick that up, because you're in your default mode, or you're disassociating. That's what happens to a lot of people that disassociate, is that when they're scanning, they're playing what they're going to do, constantly updating what they can do, like a system updating itself every second. It's like a scan mode, literally. And so when a person goes through this, and their brain constantly remembers other times it's happened, it no longer remembers the specific situations exactly, but it remembers the emotion, the fuel being brought in to that. It's going to end up escalating it, because you're expecting confrontation, and you're already kicking yourself in the ass. So now you're basically letting this person kick you in the face because you're already kicking yourself. So the psychology of it isn't that they don't try, it's that the brain remembers too hard. Like, can you stop yourself from being overstimulated when your kid trips over the cord? A lot of people can. A lot of people don't pay much attention to it. They don't connect to it on the same level.